All right, this is Geometry Unit 7, Review Part 3. So starting with number 13, it says a roll of paper towels is wrapped around a cardboard cylinder with a diameter of 1.5 inches. The diameter of the whole roll of paper towels is 5 inches. What's the volume of the paper on the roll to the nearest cubic inch? So let's start with the outside, because the outside volume equals pi r squared h. So volume is for the outside pi, the radius. So if the whole thing is 5 all the way across, okay, it says right here diameter is 5, so the radius is half of that. So it's going to be 2.5 squared times height, which is 11. There we go. All right, so it's going to be 11. So it's going to be pi and 2.5 squared times my height, which is 11. Enter. So I get 215.9. That 8 makes that go up. So round to the nearest cubic inch. So the 9 makes the 5 become a 6. So its volume is about 216 inches cubed. So that's going to be to the nearest inch. Now the inside, so inside is going to be pi, the radius. So if the diameter is 1.5, that's going to be 1.5 divided by 2, 0.75, 0.75 squared. The height is the same. All right, so right there, let's plug that in. So it's pi, and it is parentheses 0.75 close squared open 11 close enter. I get 19.4. That just comes out to be for the whole 19. So volume is going to be about 19 inches cubed, because it says round to the nearest cubic inch. So now I'm going to take those and I'm going to subtract it, because the whole is actually not part of the thing. So it's going to be 216 minus 19 and 197. So volume 197 inches cubed. Now for this one right here, it says identify the given cross section. Given this, describe the cross section. So if I'm slicing a cylinder right through it, that means that it's going to be a circle. Sketch and describe the cross section if the plane was drawn perpendicular to the base. So that means that you're going to do it this way. So it's cutting through it like this. So if it's cutting like this, it's basically going to look like this. This piece. So if I turn this on its side and look at it, so there's my cross section that goes through there. So that is going to be a rectangle. All right, so now let's take a look. It says, let's see, okay. It says draw a 2D shape that would produce a solid below if we're rotated 360 degrees. Make sure that the label of the axis is rotated. So let's take a look. So if I'm starting, so I'm going to start with the axis here. So let's make it flat. So it's going to be here. And then I'm going to go this way. And I'm going to go this way. So right here, so this is going to be the bottom of the circle. This goes up to there. This is the cone on top as I rotate it around. Okay, so I have that shape right there. So it should look like this, rotated around that axis. All right, let's take a look at number 16. Now on number 16, it says draw a solid Draw the solid of revolution formed by the shape rotated around the axis given. So this is going to be right here if it's rotated this way. So if it's rotated around, so this one looks like it could be it, but this is a two-dimensional. So it doesn't give any width. This one has little dotted lines. It says, hey, this is supposed to be a sphere here. Okay. So the answer is going to be B for this one. If it's rotated around, it's going to be a sphere, a cylinder, and another sphere. This is still only half of it. This is just sphere. It doesn't even look anything like that. So my answer has to be B. Sorry, couldn't see that right there. All right, and 17. Find the volume of a square pyramid with the length of 12 and the slant height of 9.4. So that's going to be there. Kind of mess it up. Okay, so now the big issue with this is 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that's right. Okay, so now the slant height. So that means that the slant height is not the height that we need. So if I was going to look at it straight away like this, I would actually be given this value right here, not that value. So given the slant height, we're going to use Pythagorean theorem for this. So if we know it has 12 for the base, 12 by 12, and then my dotted line here, let me do it in red to make it better. So I'm talking about this to right here. So from there, going straight down to the center. So I'm going to make a little triangle out of it. So let's make the triangle look like this. And this goes out to here. So it should look, I have a right triangle. So from here to here, so this base is going to be 6. I don't know this height, but I know the slant height. That's what that is right there. So the slant height is going to be 9.4. So we're going to use Pythagorean theorem for this. So that means that this is the hypotenuse. So it's going to be 9.4 squared is equal to h squared plus 6 squared. Do a little math, and I get 9.4 squared minus 6 squared equals h squared. And so h is equal to the square root of 9.4 squared minus 6 squared. Now if you notice, I'm not doing this yet because I'm just going to put in my calculator once, and that's going to give me that. So we're going to have square root. So square root of 9.4 squared minus 6 squared. So it's going to be about 7.2. And I'm going to use another paper here because I've already used up all my space for this one and I need a little bit more. So formula for my pyramid, it's going to be, so pyramid is 1/3 length times width times height. So I have all my information there. So it's 1/3. The length is going to be 12. The width is 12. The height is 7.2. So 1/3, and that's going to be 12 times 12 times 7.2. So we're going to get 345.6. Three, 4, 5.6. And what are my units? It says right here, meters. There it is, meters cubed. Sorry, had to do work on another page. I ran out of room. All right, so for this one right here, it says to the nearest cubic centimeter, determine the volume of the packing peanuts needed to fill the box with the radius enclosed cylinder, 3 centimeters cylinder centered in the box. So that means we need this. Okay, so I need to fill up all the rest of this with packing peanuts. So that's like my can of soda that I'm going to send across country to someone. Okay, all right, so it's going to be the volume of this minus the volume of this. Volume of this, so let's do our, whenever I'm doing a prism, I always go like that. So it's going to be, volume is, length is 20, width is 8, and the height is 10. Times 8 times 10, I get 1600 cm cubed. And then I'm going to do my cylinder on the inside. So let's take a look, and it says cylinder, determine the volume, packing peanuts, fill radius of the enclosed cylinder is 3 centimeters. So I know the radius, so volume for the cylinder is going to be pi, r is 3 squared, and the h is going to be 8. So pi 3 squared 8, so 26.2. I'm sorry, 226. There it is, 226.2 centimeters cubed. So 226 centimeters cubed. So there we go. All right, so now given that, so I'm going to take this one and I'm going to subtract this. So I come up with 1373.8. All right, number 19. The volume of the sphere is 49 pi cubic. So let's see. Now, let's pretend like we paid attention when I did my warm-up, because guess what? I did it on the warm-up. Okay. So start with the volume. So it's going to be 49 pi is equal to 4/3 pi r cubed. Okay, we're going to try and solve for radius here, so divide by pi. So 49 is equal to 4/3 r cubed. Multiply by 3/4 to cancel out, and then 3/4 here. So I get 147/4 is equal to radius cubed. So cube root, so r is equal to the cube root 147/4. Okay, I've already done the math today many times. So r is about 3.3, and it's going to be in meters cubed. And it says if the radius is multiplied by 3/4, so 3/4 times 3.3 is going to give me 2.5 meters. Now I need to find the volume given that new radius. So 4/3 pi 2.5 cubed. Four over 3 pi 2.5 raised to the third right here. So volume is about 65.4 meters cubed. Now, on this one right here, it says if you have 8,100 cubic centimeters of liquid, how many cone-shaped cups can you fill if each cup has a diameter of, so cones, so the diameter going all the way across is going to be 6, okay, and its height is going to be 10, and so the whole thing is going to be 8,100. So I'm going to hold on to that. So let's first find the volume here. So volume is equal 1/3 pi r squared h. Volume is 1/3 pi, my radius. So since my diameter is 6, from there to there, radius is 3 squared, and the height is 10. One divided by 3 pi 3 squared 10 94.2, and that's going to be cm cubed. Okay, so now how many cups will this fit? So now I have this, so I'm going to divide it by that. So, and that's going to give me the total number of cups. So it's going to be the 8,100 divided by 94.2. 81 divided by 94.2, and it will fill, okay? So it's going to come out to be 85.9873. There's a reason why I'm doing this. Okay, how much will it fill? Okay, it actually doesn't say where to round, but how many cups can you fill? So that's actually 0.9 is not full. So it's going to only fill this number right here. So when it's asking you a question like this, it's only asking for how many full ones. So this is 85 cups. All right, that time again. Go ahead, comment, like, subscribe.